For my underdogs, the ones willing to pay the cost. Even when we're up, we gotta take a loss. Underdogs are always against the odds. I'ma use this opportunity to do it for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. Yeah, my underdogs.
Welcome back to the Rec Center podcast. I'm Kenny Edwards, joined with my co-host Lorenzo Parham. I think we got a good one today, man.
We got an excellent one today, Ken. But before we start with our excellent interview we got today, man, let's give a shout out to our last interview, which was the first one we did in Rec Center history, our track episode. Shout out to Andre and Amos, USC great, Skyline alum. Shout out to Natasha Neal Sawyer, USC great, James Logan alum. All Oakland proud in that track arena. They well known. So shout out to them in our first episode of track. That was a fun episode, Ken.
Hell yeah,
it was different. It was fun, man. But we got a guest on today, man. My little brother, Ken. You know what I'm saying? It's my little brother. He's a Bulldog. We got another Bulldog in the house, man. And we go to get deep into his story, man, because he seems like he's the most controversial out of the great Tech running backs, right?
Yep.
And we're going to try to figure out why he feels it's that way, man. So welcome my little brother, Aaron, early to the show. Aaron, what's going on?
Man, how y'all doing, Lo and Ken, man? It's an honor to be here, man. This is about to be a good one. I'm going to tell you, I got some crazy ones, and I'm tied into a lot of the stories you already put out there. So it's going to be a goodie.
Hey, and one of the things I want to talk about, and we go talk about it later in the show, is how you made that decision to go do baseball, strictly baseball in college, what college you went to, came back, because before you left to go to college, you did a lot of great things on the football field. So we want to make sure, and you was part of that 98 Trans-Bay Series championship with that, I mean, probably one of the best Oakland Tech baseball teams ever, right? So we go tie into all of that, man. And we know, and one of the things we want to talk about is your dad, Moe. Moe don't get enough pub as he should, right? Mm-hmm. Because baseball, man, Moe is a legend, man, and the people that he coached and the things that he did, man. So, you know, even before I knew you and knew your brother, I knew who Moe was and didn't even know y'all was connected with each other until later on, right? So definitely we want to talk about, man, the influence that Moe had on your life, man, growing up and stuff like that. So, hey, man, so we're a little older. Well, Ken around. Ken
I'm only 1 year. I'm only 1 year
older. I'm a few years older, man. But when you started playing baseball first, we'll start with that, man. What team did you first start playing with? And who was some of them older guys that was in the Babe Ruth circuit when you started playing that you was like, hey, he nice? Like, I believe you got the Don and Twan them era, but that's just playing some of them teams that was out there when you was playing that.
So my era, so most people get me mixed up. I'm Kenny's age. But since my birthday's in December, I got held back a year. So I literally was supposed to graduate 2000 with the J.R. Taylors, the Terry Johnsons, all of them. That was my year. But since I was later, I got a year back. So most people think I'm their age, which I am age-wise, but grade-wise, I'm one behind them. I'm 2001. So the Babe Ruth, I started off with Burris Ward, Matthew Thomas, Harold Thomas. I'm pretty sure y'all know them. Mm-hmm. Matt, dad was my mom's. We rented from him. So when we rented from him, we didn't know Big Harold was our landlord. We thought that was my Uncle Harold. So Harold, one day I'm outside climbing trees, jumping off roofs. He come get me and say, I'm taking you to practice, right? Mr. Turner was the coach, Antoine Thompson. We had everybody on that team. That's where it started from. Harold's dad, Matt, our owner, paid for me to play that 1 year when I was 8, and it just kind of took off from there. That the people that was in the circle, we had the Tamarcus Tysons. I was right behind George Capers, the twins, Markham and Malcolm, Bob, what's his name? Joaquin, also Joaquin, Amari for fudging. See, I was looking at Greenman. I'm like a stage at Greenman where I'm above Twan and them. I'm like 1 year older than Twan and them. So I was in that middle group. So it was me, JR, TT, Lorenzo, Alexander, the Ed Thomases, the
Chris Dixon.
Chris Dixon was older than me though, so Chris 1 year older than me. Chris had the coldest knuckleball in Babe Ruth history. I don't care what nobody says, coldest one. So those guys were hitting exceptionally well. And they were doing things that on the field that was unheard of. That's when Greenman and the nachos, the chili cheese nachos was real. And everybody showed up to that night game because it was going down. That's when people was getting hit in the village. It was, man, the Scooby Greens of the world. It was just real life. Baseball was intense. It was real at Greenman.
Scooby Green, that's the Scooby that went to Tech with us?
Yeah, high street school.
You don't want to hear? Let me tell you something, Ken. Everybody talk, whether we talking football or baseball, they bring Scoob's name up, right?
Well, Scoob was the shit.
Scoob never tried out for a sport at Tech.
Scooby was on every All-Star team.
He never tried out for a sport at Tech. And that's crazy. and this is some of the stuff I be telling my son. Like, hey, dude, it's people that you play football with, basketball with, that's never going to play high school sports, right? For whatever reason. It could be the grades. It could be you maxed out of it. You get burnt out. It could be whatever reason, or you just don't take it that serious. But I have to tell them that. Like, I heard Scooby name a lot in our era, and he never came out and played sport at Tech.
Yep.
You want to tell you the funniest story about Scoob? So Moe knew Scooby because Moe coached at Babe Ruth. So he knew when Scooby was cussing people out in the mound, walking to the stands, ready to beat everybody up. He knew that Scoob, right? So we get to Tech. Moe was coaching the baseball team. He's like, "Is that Scooby?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's Scooby." Moe sat and put Scooby in the car, took him down the street, and talked to Scoob for hours. Scoob come back. I'm like, "So you gonna play?" He like, "No, I'm cool." Scoob was the best athlete that didn't touch the field at Tech. We needed Scoob so bad, bro. And he was like that guy. When I say I looked up to Scooby, I looked up to Scooby at the park. Scooby was that guy that was just the reason why he's in everybody's story, because everybody has their moment with Scooby.
Yeah.
No matter which moment it was, whatever it was, you had that one moment to where you met Scooby Green for sure, whichever way you met him.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, man, you know what? I'm gonna have to get him on here, bro. I gotta hear why he didn't even attempt. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
and,
a good one.
It's a thing we brought up in one of our things with who we was talking to, Ken. When I said, man, do we feel like Oakland don't cultivate the athletes like other areas do? That was
LA. That was with Deuce with LA. I heard that.
No, I think it could have been. It wasn't Jay Ryder. It was Jay Ryder.
Yeah.
It was the Jay Ryder episode, man. Because Oakland, kind of don't cultivate this area like that. So, Aaron, when you were playing baseball, when did you start playing football? Were you playing Saints or Dynamite, East Bay, whatever? When did you start playing that?
I went with the Saints. So when the Saints and Dynamites broke up, I went with the Saints. So Fred Pugh was our equipment coach. Al Davis started the Saints. And how he started it, we lived on 9-0. So I'm an East Oakland kid, but I'm a deep East Oakland kid. So I grew up on 90th. We running around Brookfield with Scotty, Armand, and Mr. Al Davis lived on 94th and Hillside. So we used to walk to Al house and play baseball in front of his house every day. So he kept telling us he's gonna start this football team. And by that time, Mo he's coaching at Babe Ruth. So Al comes up to the house. He sits down in the living room. He says, "Hey, Mo."
Hold on. Time out. Before we go any further, we're not talking about Al Davis and the Oakland Raiders.
Al Davis, the Raider owner, never lived on 94th.
Never lived on 94th and didn't coach Oakland Babe Ruth, right?
As soon as he said 94th, I said, okay, we talking about.
Okay, so let's not get it confused with Al Davis that started the Oakland Raiders, right? We're talking about Al Davis, the Oakland Babe Ruth guy that started the Oakland Saints. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Al is the original contractor. If you had any kind of property in East Oakland at the time on 90th or anywhere in the deep, you used Al Davis to do any kind of construction. That's what he did. So he was looking out for the kids. He used to see us outside playing different sports. Derek Whiteside lived over there, so we used to all be outside, and Humphrey. They all lived over, so we used to be outside playing football and doing all that in the street. So Al started a team. What I didn't know that I knew it was a Dynamites, but my mom would never let me play Dynamite. So when this came together, it was like a family thing. It was Sam, Coach Hank, everybody came together, and they pulled everybody from the Dynamite to the Saints. So I got through in a rivalry that I never was a part of. J.R. Taylor's my cousin, who was a big part of the Dynamite history, and Sam Taylor. So when they pulled me over there, I just got through in the most intense, heated battle that we never played each other, though. That's what's crazy. Everybody talked this Oakland Saints. We never played each other until probably like Pee-wees. But basically, that's how I started. Al Davis to start getting neighborhood kids. It started in East Oakland. But this is where, if I can get into this side of the story, this is how, we're going to get back to it, but this is how when I got to Tech, I kind of knew everybody because I played with the Chungas and the Kadolfis, and I'm sleeping with Anthony Hurst's at his house. I was at Anthony Hurst's house for a whole summer in the bottoms. I'm from East Oakland. So it was like a shell shock. I'm in the bottoms. We in the West. They, you know, it just started crazy. So when I got to Tech, as soon as I stepped on the campus, it was like, oh, wow. Oh, these is, and then they all went to Mac. So all the little people I met, like the Billy from Ghost Town, all that, I kind of felt, to be honest, the reason why I feel like, and I know you said we're going to get back to it, the reason why I feel like I bridged the gap, because in Tech, I made it cool for East Oakland dudes to go to Tech, and it was all mellow at that point. Y'all was there, Lo, but we brought a whole gang. It was me, Scotty. I was in kicking it with Mikey. I had to stay at Mikey's house. So we had Gene that brought this push.
No. Let's correct that real quick, because before there were the you and the Scotty, it was still me, Mikey, Matt, Pizzo, my brother. But so when I first got to Tech, the shit was literally you wanted to be cool with who you was cool with.
Exactly.
Because it was first week
of
school,
bad.
West Oakland versus North Oakland, and East Oakland, you wanted to be cool. The fact that made us cool with East Oakland was we grew up with each other from playing baseball and stuff like that. Because we still had the Damian Joneses and the Binkies and all of them.
Oh,
dudes,
yeah, I
right?
forgot.
And them dudes, I literally watched Binky pull a shotgun on somebody one day and try to shoot him in the middle of the courtyard in front of everybody. And the gun jam, and he looked back like, "Hey, y'all, it ain't shooting."
Bruh,
That was
what
Tech.
I mean,
That was
what I
Tech,
mean-
kid.
what I mean by this, oh, you talking about when my first year there and I really kind of didn't know nobody like that because I got hit in the head with the cane. I was all, so what I'm saying is, look, Lo, this is what I mean by when I said bridge the gap. See, y'all was there, right? But when I got to Tech, I'm in West Oakland. Like, I'm really hanging in the West. Like, I'm hanging in the North at Bush Ride, rest in peace, Dre Foster. You know what I mean? Like, these dudes, I'm really in all hoods. I'm in Bush Ride, I'm in Ghost Town, the bottoms, but I'm going to Tech. My brother, I never forget it. It was my 9th grade year. We pulling up to a party. He's dropping me off in the West. You already know what that is. My brother like, dude, you sure? I get out the car. It's all, hey, we go in there. And my brother like, dude, that's when it wasn't cool to go to the West like that. So when I say bridge the gap, I made everybody cool with everybody because I was messing with each side. I was on 55th and Gaskill. You name anybody. I'm everywhere.
I don't do the hanging out with it.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't do that, right? Hey, but let me ask you this, right? And we go pick back up on this. So you playing these sports. What middle school did you end up going to?
I went to King.
You went to King of States, right? I went to King of States my last year. I did go to King of States. Shout out King of States, right?
Shout out
another
King.
one of them schools. It keeps seeming like I was going to the school.
Hey,
lean
Lo.
on me. I was going to the lean on me.
Hey, Lo, and what you didn't touch on, like I watched a few interviews. You said about the high school environment for basketball, right? A couple of times you quoted the OAL energy and just the Tech. Tech was different animal. We gonna get to that, but when it came to junior high, that's what started it. Because remember, 9th grade, I was in junior high when I went to 9th grade. The atmosphere to go King against Frick, Brett, that atmosphere.
But no. Here's the thing, though, Aaron. We didn't go to away games in junior high school. Like, because
we did.
If you went to an away game at junior high school, where that was at Bret Hart going to, I'm not walking in the Frick gym. We already got Frick kids coming up to Bret Hart taking starter coats and shit, right? So you think I'm going to go to their gym? I didn't understand Frick until I went to Frick. I didn't understand King until I went to King, right? And it's like, if you want to, we show up deep at Montera games.
Exactly, right? We catching the bus to Montera,
you're not going to the King State and Frick gym.
What I'm saying is, Lo, that's the thing. I was that one cat in all of Oakland. You can ask anybody you ever put on here. That could be anywhere in Oakland. Like, I was a cat going from King to Frick because I knew everybody from Frick. I would go to Manzanita. I would go to anywhere, in the brewer, you name it, because I knew everybody. I feel like the reason why I feel like I bridged the gap because it was nowhere I couldn't go. I had love everywhere, every city, every school. Like, I wasn't never known for, he's going to do this. He was just known for the dudes play baseball. Oh, little Aaron. Like, that's what it was. So that's how I feel like I bridged the gap. Everybody that,
I tried that too, man. And until I got jumped one day and was like,
Lo, you was different,
no, you was too deep in. Lo had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Aaron was just cool.
Yeah, Lo was a bad kid, bro. Like, Lo was not like this dude. Like, Lo's where he at now. But back then, it was like, oh, here come these dudes in the party. We out.
See,
like,
I met Lowe
was,
I met Lowe when he reformed.
Hey, check it out.
So
man.
some of the stories Lowe be telling me, I'll be like, I can't even picture you doing that.
Hey, listen, we go. Hey, the names have been changed to protect the innocent, right? We gonna leave it at that. Hey, so what? So we just talked about the whole tech aspect of it, right? What made you choose tech?
Nah.
Hold on.
I was about to get into the mobile clock story. Go ahead.
We gotta go way back because
okay,
we can't bypass Aaron's Babe Ruth.
All stars.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, didn't y'all win a World Series?
We won a World Series. I was on the front page.
That up.
Yeah. Back up. What All-Star team? What year was that? And who was all on that team with y'all?
It was, I believe, it was 1995. I want to say me, Jr., Anthony Miyawaki. We had the Jeremiah Fielders. We had the Johnny Ash. No, Johnny didn't play. Scrappy Tucker with De La Salle. T.T. Taylor. We had Marquise Pettis. We were deep. Keith Smith. We had a lot of people. Who am I missing? And somebody's gonna be mad. Derek Williams. It was a lot of us, but what was happening is to get to that point. So we got to start at like 10. So
I'm sorry to cut you off. We go start back at 10. But the year y'all won it, was that your major year or your prep year?
It was 15. Yeah, we won at 15. And then it's gonna get deep.
So
that's crazy because most Oakland 14, 15s kind of fall off.
No, it's not 1995 then. I was 15 in 95. You won 15 in 95. So that had to be
98 or something.
97 or something before you came to Tech.
Matter of fact, it was 97 because when we won the Trans, it was 98-ish because when we won the 97 going to 98 because we won the Trans Bay. If you look at the picture of the Trans Bay, I'm taking my uni off to go play a baseball game with the 15. So it had to be that year.
All right. So now I'm getting to the 10th year. My bad.
So we're 10-year-olds. The reason why 10-year-old in my life was a milestone. So Mobile Cox, which is my dad, he raised me my whole life. 10 years old, my mom meets Mobe. So the way my mom meets Mobe is Mobe was a cable guy. We used to steal his cones off his truck and block the street off on 72nd and play football all day. You know what I mean? So Mobe started getting hella mad because my mom, I was like, hey, tell these kids to stop blocking the street with my cones. I need my cones. So long story short, we meet Mobe, right? Mobe comes in my life and he just, started telling me I play for UCLA. Ricky Henderson is my friend. You're like, all right, dude, whatever. You know what I mean? So he started grooming me at 10 years old to really become not just a baseball player, but just an athlete, student of whatever. He's giving me GPS maps when we're going to football games. Like, you need to find in this book where we're going and tell me the exit. And he'd start making me an all around like student of whatever I'm doing. So at 10 years old, it ties in because at that point, we met a beat writer named Josh Sousa, who writes for the Giants right now. Josh Sousa, we met him at 10. He just wanted to be a writer so bad that he covered me, Twan, Don, you name it, a slew of guys from 11-year-old all the way through, right? And to this day, Josh Sousa will tell you I'm the reason why he has a job with the Giants. So at 11, 12, Josh is writing on us, continuously writing on us. By the time we hit 12 years old, now everybody starts splitting. So we all used to play together, CNS. People didn't know Clean Scene was together with Alan Temple, Coach Hank and Sam get into and Jackie. So it was Pal, CNS, and Alan Temple all in one team. Just imagine that. Imagine that tryout with everybody. Lorenzo Alexander, the best of Babe Ruth was on that team. It was an all-star team in itself. They couldn't come to an agreement. Jackie, my dad, Coach Hank, Sam, they like, well, we got to break this team up, whatever. That's how all the teams formed to make PAL and the rivalries. That's how the rivalry started. So when them rivalries started, what it kicked off is it started kicking off like people going their separate ways and branching off and getting other teams. You always had Kappa had their nucleus that there was never changing. And the other ones, everybody are intertwined, and the Eric Crafts and everybody's like flip-flopping. Ed Thomas wants to play for Duvernay now, type of deal. So the reason why that made a break it, because that would start building the relationships for the bigger diamond. And I'm glad it kind of happened that way, because if we had stayed together, it would have been no competition and it would have been nothing. The way they separated it made the rivalries, it made the games better. So basically we were going down a lane where all these kids had talent and Josh Sousa was writing on everybody. So it publicized it bigger. So now as we get to 13-year-old, my dad, Mo, makes a decision and say, hey, you're not playing with Duvernay. You're going to go play with Kappa with Will Ash. What gave me a different perspective of baseball, how to play the game, how to talk. I'm with Johnny Ash now every day. I'm hanging at his house. Johnny Ash, shout out to Johnny. He hit the home run at the Stanford World Series, won the Stanford World Series. So,
hold on, tell me back up. He played for Stanford?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he played third base Stanford.
He won a home run national championship?
Grand Slam. Now,
wow.
And he just started switch hitting. So we gonna get into all that because Johnny, like me and Johnny was a lefty. And seeing me switch hit, Johnny switched to his right. And we're gonna get into that now. So I get 12 years old, right? Me and my dad, that's why it's so valuable. I get 12 years old. And at this point, remember, we broke that team up. So I'm good on my right side and I'm great. Switch, throw both hands. So my dad is now telling me, you need to add something to your game. I'm like, Mo, I'm not adding. No, it's 11-year-olds, 11. So you need to add something to your game. I'm like, Mo, I'm not adding nothing. I'm cool. He's like, nah, you need to. Wait up, let me go back. 10 years old, I played with Alan Temple, with my Uncle Sam. He said, add something to your game. Then he switched me over. I struck out 58 times on my left. My Uncle Sam is like, bro, this is not going to work. Now at this point, I'm like, bro, I don't want to hit ever again. I'm cool. 11-year-old Mo like, nope, you're going to hit on your left. So this whole time, I could just hit on my right and just be with the crowd. But I ended up not getting picked for the 12-year-old All-Stars because it was like a battle between me and TT. But by 12 years old, I'm hitting home runs at this point. But leading up there, it was like in Babe Ruth, you didn't just make an All-Star. You had to have a resume for a couple of years to make it. It wasn't just, oh, this year you good, good. No, it was like 10, he was cool. 11, he was can like a mug. Now 12, he's hitting home runs on his left. He might be cool, but nah, TT had a better consistent 3 years than him. We're taking T.
And whoever won the championship.
Exactly. But all hell broke loose there. Mo lost it on the field, cussed out Sam and Hank. It just went left. And, it was just one of those things. So now at this point, it's becoming resume. It's like, okay, who is who? So Mo takes me out of that and sends me to Kappa. So now it's really rivalries. And by 14 years old now, we're creating CNS. That's when Twan and them, they start coming up. So now we're on a big diamond. We're creating a whole nother monster. So CNS versus Duvernay was like one of the top of the line.
What did
matches.
CNS stand for?
Clean scene. So
that was old school Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut, yeah.
Clean scene.
So what happened is they got a sponsor when they won the Kentucky World Series with the 12-year-olds with Red and Durrell and Twan and them. So Clean Scene sponsored them to do that. So now we're creating a rivalry. And the rivalry is becoming, we play each other so much during the year, and we play baseball and football. We play football together and baseball is on. So this rivalry is getting off the field now at this point. This rivalry is coming like, okay, meet me at the park, put your pads on, whatever you want to do, right? So I was a little kid in Oakland, and I got to get to this. When the Balonies came out, right? Gino, Mario, Red, and Gennaro, Baloney. I remember Baloney. Gino said he lived on 78th and Mack. Well, I went to the church downstairs. So they was upstairs and the church was downstairs. So I met them right off the rip. My auntie lived on 76th and May, and we lived on 72nd and May. So I met them right off. We used to slide cardboard down Parker Hills and all that. So I know the Baloney. That's when I tapped in with all them. And from a little kid, like about 7, 8 years, about 9, 10 maybe, I knew them forever. So now Mo is trying to pull them in. Like, come on, let's do this, and this. He grabs Red and puts his arm around him. He becomes that. So now we're creating not only rivalries, but we are like the East Oakland kids. And we got West Oakland kids and we got these kids, but Mo is only attacking these East Oakland kids and trying to get everybody together. People that went to school with me, Montero, he didn't go with Montero. Anybody went to King or John Marshall, Thurgood Marshall, old school. You know what I mean? Thurgood Marshall, the Grass Valley kids was playing for Allen Temple. So we're creating a rivalry within a rivalry, but we're all like practically, you want to say cousin, like we sleeping at each other's house, everybody over there, but it's a rivalry when it comes to the game. So by 14 years old, now we have a full-blown rivalry. Games is off the hook, people getting hit to the snack bar. It's getting crazy at this point. 15 is when they kind of brought us all to the table because now we all freshmen in high school or whatever. And they're like, okay, look, we need one goal. We need one coach that can actually make it happen. And Eddie Abrams really put his whole pride to the side and was like, okay, look, I'm going to pick the best all-star team. And I wasn't even supposed to play that all-star game. My dad, I had a messed up grade in Spanish. Even though I had like a 3.0, I still had a D in Spanish. And Mo wasn't having it. Eddie called my mom and was like, Karen, please let him play. He like, nope, then you're not playing, Eddie. He's going to summer school. I don't care. Summer school at Ohio. Summer school at Ohio. I had to take Spanish. So Eddie, being the solid dude he is, he put me on the roster anyway. He put me on the roster every tournament. I missed 2 tournaments. I didn't go to Roner Park and I didn't go to something else. But every tournament, he put me on the roster. He ended up calling my mom again, like, Karen, please, you have to let this guy play. Because Mo's like, Eddie, it's out of my hand. You got to talk to Karen. I ain't doing it. My mom would not let me play. They get to San Leandro to the championship. I show up. My mom brings me Eddie, like, he can play. They throw a jersey on me, right? I had like number 42 or something. And from that point on, we went on to make history, like consecutive years though. So we won the World Series. And the reason why Josh Sousa is important, because when we won it, they had a picture of me in the front page of the newspaper with my hat. I was holding my hat up. And it was just me standing like this with my hat up, walking towards the dugout. After, like, I think we just scored. I scored a run or something. And I'm walking home. This is after we won it. The next year at 16-year-old, mind you, Josh is getting big now. He's starting to get looked at the Giants. At 16-year-old, we went 68-7 across the world, meaning we went 68-7.
Hold on. Let's back up. So this 16-year-old is after the Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth doesn't have 16-year-old
14, 15.
lead, right?
Yeah.
It ended at 15 with Babe Ruth. So now you're not doing Babe Ruth. You're 16 on the travel circuit, and you guys have this team. What was the travel ball team name?
It was called the Oakland Oaks. Alan Silver. Everybody know about.
You cut off a little bit. You froze up. What was it? The Oakland who?
The Oakland Oaks.
Is this Coach Silver team still? So Silver still overseeing it at this point?
Silver is the money guy. He's
the money guy. Always was the money guy.
Yeah, he's the money guy. So what he's doing is we have to do financial classes to even get on his team. You can't even just go, like, he's giving us, we had allowances. It was like a real, we had meal money. We traveled. We played everywhere. So Silver linked up with Eddie and my dad, Mo, and they created the Oakland Oaks. But they had a curriculum you had to go by. You wasn't just on this team. You had a curriculum. You had to go by each curriculum. And then we started traveling. Our first year, the first year we went to Canada, I believe. We played in Canada, Edmonton, Canada. And that's when we had the whole nucleus together, Johnny Ash, all that.
Hold on. I'm trying to figure something out, because now we're talking 16U. We're talking your sophomore going into your junior year, or your junior going into your sophomore year, right? Junior going into your sophomore year. No,
this is freshman going
into your sophomore year, right? So when were you able to do football in the regular baseball season, playing on a team that went 68-7 and traveling to Canada? How did that balance work out?
So what it was is that this is why Coach D and them was mad to this day. My mom, I used to play football games on Friday and baseball games on Sunday with Tom Wheeler with the Colorado Rockies. So my mom didn't play that. He could play the halftime. After halftime, you need to put him at corner or get him out the way because he got a baseball game on Sunday. This is real.
Oh, wow.
It's real. It is a real story, true story. Ask Coach D. So, and we're going to get into that because that's why I feel like I was the reason why Tech got any look they got. When nobody looking for running back at Tech, look what Mikey did. They wasn't beating down the door for Mikey. And Mikey was the best athlete I've ever seen in my life, per se, with eyes being right there. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into that Mikey story too. Mikey, I owe you one. But so basically.
Hold on. Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. No, Mikey, you know. Mike,
we got to get all pre-approval before we tell the stories about my brother, because he don't like stories being told about him, whether they good or bad. He's the only person I know don't want to hear good stories about.
We'll stick to on the field stories.
Yeah, it is. That's what I mean.
About himself. That's crazy, Mike. You don't like hearing good stories about yourself, man. Hey, but go ahead. So
this is an on the field story about Mike, and this is what made me a real life dog. That story is the dog story. So what it is that I'm coming in at Tech. Mind you, Gene is talking. He beating down my door. Mo is a Tech alumni. And that's why my dad doesn't get enough credit. If you go look at Ricky Henderson, the true story of Ricky Henderson, Mobile Cox, when you look at that lineup, that's M. Cox. That's my dad, Mobile Cox, at the third spot in that lineup. So Ricky's leading off and my dad's the third spot. Now, this is a true story. Ricky of vouch. Ricky, growing up, Ricky was my man. Like, I used to really tell Ricky, I'll beat you. You want to race? Like, this is my dad's best friend, you know what I mean? So Ricky was about to get cut from Tech. He used to wear his glove on the wrong hand. Mo vouched for Ricky, got his glove together, and that's how Ricky became Ricky. They was gonna cut Ricky from Tech. He wasn't gonna play. But Mo was that senior, that guy, and he said, nah, keep him. He's a good dude. And that's how him and Mo guys. So Mo don't get a lot of credit for a lot of athletes out here. Alario, Red, a lot of these dudes, Corey Dunlap, a lot of these successful dudes, like Mo was the background and really behind it. So at this point in time, I'm a freshman. You can't tell me nothing. I'm traveling the world. We 68 and 7 talking about, right? We get to school, it's double days, but I kind of come at the end of double days. Mikey is the dog. I'm not knowing that Mikey is this type of dude and that big on the campus. I'm thinking, I just know Mikey's not. It's like, you know, I know Gene. Mikey is just regular Mikey. So I get to Tech, we're in double days, and Mikey, I'm just super cocky. Like, dude, you got, man, whatever. I'm like 155, bro, 5'5". Not even that. I'm probably like 130 or something. So I'm talking to Mikey and Coach Phil, they having these drills where they keep running 46 power. And I'm like, why ain't nobody hitting this dude? Like, man, y'all, Phil, put me at safety. What are you talking about, man? I'm about to knock him out. So Mikey, we go from the first practice. Phil like, dude, you're not ready yet. Then, you know, whatever. Like, Phil, put me in. No lie, to this day, this is what made me a dog. Mikey Denard, they open the hole. Phil like, okay, you want to go in next play? I'm like, dude, they running 46. He's like, yeah, they running 46. They doing it on purpose for you. I'm like, all right, bet. Put me at safety. I go to safety helm, and Mikey will attest to this story. The hole open up. I fly up, try to knock Mikey out. He knocked my tooth out, bruised my kidneys, bro. He ran me over so bad, it was just embarrassing, bro. He never stopped. He just ran through me like I wasn't even there.
He never stopped.
A lot of people who got that same story.
No, this was because I'm a cocky kid. You got to think. I'm coming
I know you.
Yeah. So I'm coming in. I try to knock Mikey out, man. Mikey, I'm talking about I was out for like 2 weeks, bruised kidneys, tooth knocked out. You know what I'm saying? So Mikey's like, he's laughing. Now, mind you, this is at a time where my mom and them going to go get married. So I got to ride home with Mikey. He's looking at me. Remember, we used to walk low. Double days to walk up the safe, like get some juice. So Mikey's taking me home. He's just laughing. He's like, so you really thought this was going to be something? You know how cool Mike is. So he had this long talk with me like, man, you just got to be who you are. And Mikey was like a mentor, really like side by side when I got to Tech. You know, every day he checking on me going to class, like what you doing, you know, here and there. So the football came into play. It was only like a means to stay in shape for baseball. Because in Pop Warner, I wasn't like the man. I was like the tight end. You know, Kurt Morrison was like my nose guard. I was a linebacker. Then he became a linebacker. Like all these stories that I got in Oakland tie into everybody. Everybody from the Deuce that y'all had on here, Kenneth. I saw him grow in Tech. Like I was that piece of Tech.
Hey, real quick, I saw a Saints roster with Deuce name on it. Did Deuce play football for Saints? I saw Kenneth Smith, and I didn't know if that was Deuce. Did Deuce play football?
It's only
for
one
the Saints?
Kenneth Smith.
No, it's two Kenneth.
It's two Kenneth Smiths.
It's a Darcy and Kenneth Smith from the West, and he had a brother that was that Kenneth Smith.
Okay, so
and they was from the West. It wasn't Deuce.
Okay. I was like, did Deuce play? We didn't talk about that. Deuce, right? Did Deuce play football, right? But you got Deuce stories from Tech, and we talk about this on our show. Aaron, you be in class of 01, so you're the middle, right? So it's like,
that's what I'm saying, Lo.
You're a freshman when we all there, right? You're a freshman, we all there. You a senior when
they are
Leon Poe and all of them is there, right? That's in your senior year. So you went and you saw all of it. I'm not sure if Marshawn was there by the time you got. Marshawn was a freshman.
Marshawn was in the 10th grade. So
you was there.
So just how Mikey did the big brother to me, I didn't know who Marshawn was going to be, but that was my personality. That's the reason why I feel like in Tech history, if you ask anybody from Tech, my name come up, because even the scrubs are the scrubs. And what I mean, not calling nobody.
Are you talking about Worm when you say the scrubs?
Yeah, come on, bro. Like, what I mean is like.
Are you talking about?
Nah, we're not gonna do that.
Are you talking about Worm when you say that?
Do that?
No, listen.
The way you just said that, Aaron, the way you put it out there, the scrubs are the scrubs.
We're not about to do that.
Okay, Lo.
Are you talking about anybody in general?
No, I'm not. What I mean is, okay, let me show you the type of person I was. The guy named Gabe, if you look at Gabe in Tech High School, right? Gabe graduated from Cal and Tech at the same day. Nobody talked to Gabe. Gabe had the biggest backpack in the world. He used to walk around the school. Gabe was my guy. Like, I used to talk to Gabe in class, and what I'm saying is my personality brought that school together. Meaning the reason why Tech, everybody from Tech from, you know, about 97, 98, and going from, let's say, 99 above. The reason why everybody in Tech feel like it's a family, why Deuce talked about it like it's a family, I made that. When Deuce and them came, they coming to me, hey, look, bro, look, do it like this, how we doing it. It made the West Oakland, East Oakland, North Oakland family. It wasn't nothing, nobody, Marshawn was just as cool as me with Gabe. Same thing. I would do the same thing with Sean I would do for Gabe. I would do the same thing. You know what I mean? I had made it okay for you to come in there and like really
you was the people's champ, basically.
Exactly. I was the guy that everybody looked to when it was anything. Like, okay, so what are we doing? Not to mention my freshman year, I started left field. I was player of the month on Sports Focus. I got beat out by a girl backstroke for player of the year. This is a freshman dive and catch at Skyline, which ended up being player of the week and going to player of the month. So by this time, the seniors, like low, everybody thought I was in the older grade, but I was still a freshman. So my 10th grade year now, you get my 10th grade year, you got the Deuce and them coming in. It's 02. You know what I mean? So Deuce comes on campus. I don't know who he is. I'm just like,
no,
whatever.
wait, your sophomore year?
Yeah, because Deuce is 02. I'm 01.
He 01.
I'm 01.
Deuce 02. So Aaron class.
Your sophomore year is 99.
And Deuce is in.
But that Deuce gets on campus though.
He gets on campus. He's a freshman.
Yeah. So his class that he came in with is the Marche class.
The Marche and them, yeah.
Marche and Keith and them class.
It's gonna get all the way. It's gonna get all the way down to Q because Q lived up the hill from me on 90. I take Q to school every day. So what I mean is
hold on. Before we get into that, hold on. Time out. Let's back up. Now, before we go to your sophomore year, we got to get your welcome to the OAL moment, right?
Oh.
So as a freshman, now I know Mikey knocked you crazy, but what was your welcome to the OAL moment in both sports? Give us a story, man. Both sports. What was your welcome to the OAL moment?
The welcome to the OAL moment for football, I was playing with Coach O'Keefe. And, he used to run that 36, whatever it was. And we're playing McClymonds. Now, Mac, this is a cheating team. You got Jabari, Chunga, Gaddafi. They got everybody. It wasn't too many people they didn't have. Like, that team was out of pocket. I ain't going to hold you. So, mind you, remember, I never was a superstar in the Saints or nothing. Coach O'Keefe, they see me now, he a star, baseball dude, so they give me the ball automatically. So, I'm wearing number 2. We playing that Mac. And I never forget it. I knew Chunga. Remember, I used to stay at their house, go be over there. Gaddafi, I knew them all. So, we get on the field. We have the coin toss. Chunga said, hey, today will be your day. I'm like, what? Like, it's going to be your day too then. You know what I mean? So, it's on. Man, they give me like this toss to the left on Mac's sideline. Now, mind you, I pay Saints for all these dudes. Man, when I say the Gatorade, so Chunga and Gaddafi meet me on the corner. Gatorade shot, knock all into the side of the bench. They pushing me down. Oh, I told you, bro. I get up. Wasn't no concussion protocol. I stumble back to the other side of the field. Coach O'Keefe like, get back in there. I'm like, nah, I got to wait for a second. Dude, that whole game was a welcome to the OAL moment. They were tagging me, bro. I ain't never got hit that hard in ever. I was getting it.
Hey, but what was it like being a JV football player, but then being a starter on one of the best baseball teams that Tech have, right? What was that welcome to the OAL moment in baseball? Because y'all was really good.
It came in the summer. Deion Moses, never forget. Mind you, remember, I got to hang around the village because my mom and them going to get married. I'm living with Mikey and T-Tone and his mom, and they took me in. So Deion, I'm talking, remember, baseball, what, Deion, I'm a smack man, whatever. I never seen Deion play. I didn't know
never?
Nothing.
I didn't know who Deion was till high school.
Deion was older than me. He was way older than me. I just see Mikey in it.
Deion is our age, me and Mikey age. So our all-star teams is Deion, Mikey. Yeah. Like Deion didn't play. He was crazy. He a village dude, but didn't play Spray Mark Cobras. He played Duvernay.
Yeah, I never heard of Deion till.
Oh yeah, no. But Deion, he's one of the ones that remember we talk about this, that got better after high school, Ken. He got better after Babe Ruth. Because when he got to Tech and you like, oh, Deion hitting dingers, he's striking niggas, he pitching complete games, and it was like he got better after Babe Ruth, So go ahead, Aaron.
That's why I didn't know Deion. Like I knew the Tamarcus Tysons of the world, and you feel me? I seen the bombs getting hit and the Mikeys but when I got to Tech, right, they seniors. So I'm coming in, we just went 6, 8, 7 across the world. Deion, what you mean? I didn't see 92. I'm about to kill that. You got me. Deion, listen, let me tell you, bro. Bring it up. Now, mind you, we at Mikey house all day. So Gene, they had this thing called freshman versus senior game that Gene used to host every year. Gene and them played on our team, and we played against the seniors. So Dion kept telling me, like, watch, I'm gonna show you what it is. So I'm thinking he gonna try to, like, you know, throw it by me or whatever, dude. I get up to the plate, no lie, I don't know if we can cuss, we good or we not.
Go ahead,
Say
do
whatever you
your
want
thing.
to say.
Dion literally hit me in the ass so hard with 92 miles per hour, bro. I couldn't even play the game. Now, mind you, we talking head the whole time. So I'm thinking he about to try to strike me out, bro. He gave me the shut up freshman moment. Like, shut up, sit down, I don't want to hear nothing. He hit me so hard, bro, in my ass, I couldn't even move no more, bro. I sat down for the whole scrimmage, bro. Gene's like, you good, yeah? I'm like, nah, bro. That was my welcome to the OL. That was when it was like, shut up, you a freshman, you don't know what you talking about, respect your elders. Dion gave that moment to me. That was that in baseball for me.
Hey, being a dude that's cool with everybody and being around all of these different sections and playing with a whole bunch of different people, I got to go into my next question. I need to know, who did you play with that you made these all-star teams with? You might have been raw on the Saints and got to high school, might not have been the same person. Who did you play with in the OEL that you felt was underrated, and who did you play with that you are against that you felt was overrated?
I played the dude I felt like that was the most underrated cat, I would have to say was it's a few of them. So Keith Smith. Keith Smith.
Uh-huh.
Keith like my cousin too. We got, you know, Greenside or whatever. So Keith was a cat that just didn't want to go this way, bro. He was the best pitcher I ever seen, the best this, but nobody really wanted to, like, after the Babe Ruth thing, nobody was reeling Keith in to go play. He went to Castlemont with Steve and them and played once or twice, you know, at the Castlemont era. But I'm telling you, bro, that was a dude that if he got focused, I done seen Keith hit bombs. I done seen Keith strike a whole team out. I done seen pitch a whole game.
I would contest to that. Keith being underrated, and it not be based on ability, it's based on him in the streets, because Keith's name actually came up in our basketball conversation as too, Ken, as being at Castlemont. And I want to say underrated, but it's like only underrated because he didn't put. Are
you talking about talent-wise underrated? I was talking about like talent-wise.
Overlooked, overrated, definitely, right? Because we had the streets pulling him in another direction, you know, all of the shit, you know, just to be you talking about him in baseball being underrated, but most of the people who come on here and when you talk about Keith, we're talking basketball.
I didn't even know Keith played baseball.
Yeah,
Keith is the reason.
He's that Don era. Ken.
Keith my age. So yeah, Keith is 2001 too. But what it was is Keith and Babe Ruth. He was one of the best pitchers in Babe Ruth in my era.
Who did he play for?
He played for Allen Temple.
Yeah.
Keith, he played for Allen Temple. Then I think he played for Duvernay and some other stuff. But Keith was that
hold
guy.
On. So his crew consisted of him, Don. Who else was it?
So
Don ain't Keith. It's Keith, Duran, Eric Kraft,
that group.
Robbie, Dimitri. See, Dimitri played Pooh Bear, all them. See, Pooh Bear and Dimitri played with us at CNS.
But they were Allen Temple though first, right?
They were Allen Temple first because I played 10-year-old Allen Temple, but Dimitri and Pooh Bear, Mob used to pick them up, so they ended up coming to CNS.
So as an athlete, I would say Keith, because his name came up twice in baseball. Ken didn't even know baseball, but then again, you know, we got basketball. His name came up, and everyone would say Keith will do his thing. But you know, after a while, you know, Keith get associated with you from Greenside and you do your thing, man. So, but free Keith, man. Shout out to Keith, man.
He was the one of the ones that I've seen that had the most talent, and nobody really looked to get him in a good situation. But that's why I say underrated, because Ken didn't even know. You go look at Babe Ruth and all them all-star teams. Keith was the dominant pitcher. That's why they was going to the World Series, and they won the district, and then they end up losing But no, I don't even want to put that out there. But yeah, they end up losing because they got into some stuff, but whatever.
But when you say that, right, and we think about, you know, Castlemont in the 90s like that, late 90s, early 2000s, and we talk about being in a better situation, I look at a lot of the athletes, and me and Ken talked about this, that was choosing Castlemont in those time frames, right? It's like you be go play baseball at Castlemont and you play the first 10 games. Grades come out, everybody ineligible. Baseball season is over after a 10-game stretch. I think a lot of them athletes was not put in the best situation, environmental wise, right? Just basically, who's the coach that can make sure everyone completes the season, right? Not saying not saying nothing about the school, but who's the person that's overseeing that sport? Who's the football coach overseeing? Who's this? Like, we didn't hear about basketball being all ineligible like that, because who was their coach? Was it Johnny Larigo?
They had quite a few coaches, but Larigo was the
and knowing Larigo, he gonna try his best to keep all of them guys in a good space to plan. So I would say a lot of them athletes, you got Danielle and them, Danielle feeding them, right?
But Antoine was the best.
But here's the thing.
That guy.
Yeah, here's the thing. They're at Castlemont and during those time frames. Now you put them under Mobe and Gene at Tech.
It's different.
It's different, right? So when we talk about that, I think they all would just no one was pushing them to, hey, this is a better situation. But it attests to back then, if you went to your neighborhood school,
it was over.
It was something different, right? It was simple. It wasn't too many MAC people in West Oakland leaving, not going to MAC. We had a slew of West Oakland people at Tech, right?
Yeah.
But those West Oakland people at Tech probably couldn't go to MAC. It was still some shit going on where I'm not about to be on that side of town. Y'all tripping, right? So all of those type of things that come into it. So I'm thinking about all of them dudes, and just, you know, we went to our neighborhood schools and no one really was pushing, hey, you could go do this elsewhere, right? If you didn't have a Mobe, you didn't have a Jimmy Rollins daddy, you didn't have a Gene Denard to make Gene. Mikey from the Village. Mikey ain't never stepped a foot at Fremont. You know, he went to Emory, then Tech, you know, so it's those things like that. Who would you say was overrated though?
Just to finish off the Keith thing.
Okay, go ahead.
But the reason why they didn't succeed, so like, you got to think Steve Webster was their coach from Allen Temple all the way to Castlemont. So when they got there, he was more buddy. Now that they're old, you know, Lo, we had it when we was coaching. The kids get older, you kind of befriend them more than you try to be on them, and that's why.
I was going to ask that because I knew Steve was the coach. It seemed like he would have made, but that's okay.
But at the same time,
cool.
Yeah,
it was way too cool.
It was boundaries broken, right? You know what I'm saying? The boundary. I've been with you since I was 8. Type of thing, you know? Yeah,
now you're a grown up. So it's like you're not a grown up, but you're a teenager and you getting into that stage. And Castlemont, about 15, you grown as hell. You out for real. You know what I mean? And I lived on 90th and I didn't step in Castlemont at all. I never went to Castlemont. I couldn't even, it was. So the most overrated is probably somebody y'all really don't know. And I'm saying this, y'all probably know him. He played professional baseball, but JP Howe. So when we played when 16, JP Howe was a lefty. He played for the
What high school you went to?
I don't even know. I just know him from North.
No, we talking about from Oakland.
No. We talking about OEL.
Okay. Because I was just saying that was definitely overrated, bro. He was a lefty, but he was raw, but he's overrated. OEL, I would say, damn, I can't really say that.
Football or baseball?
Football or baseball? Football, I want to say. Nah, I really didn't play with no overrated dudes, bro. That I felt was overrated. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, like, it was the older class. Like, I didn't feel Omar was as good as he was when I was on the field with him until I saw him when I wasn't on the field until I got on the field. And I was like, oh, okay, he real. You know what I mean? Like, Garrison, our first year, Garrett, that played middle linebacker for Skyline.
Jared
Harris. I ran Jared over. And then I thought it was something, but that's when he wasn't in the mix. Like, Beam didn't put his all behind him. Then I got back on the field with him again and face mask all in the dirt and just, So nobody's really overrated. It was probably like I was just hella cocky, so I didn't really care. I thought everybody was sorry. That's what I mean. But that's the Oakland mentality. Like, right. I'm better than everybody. So overrated, I didn't really see nobody too much overrated. I just seen people that didn't live up to their standards, to their hype. More than just overrated. Oakland, you can't be really overrated. You just don't live up to You're
What
a
other
standard
people
because
made you?
If this the Kwame Brown argument though, like I'm not overrated, I just didn't live up to my hype. Like, is that the same type argument?
No.
no, this is
Kwame Brown. With Kwame Brown, the part I agreed with him was everybody in the league is good.
good. Period.
So hold on.
The worst dude in the NBA it was coming
It's great.
ass at 24 Hour Fitness.
Period.
But there are levels in the NBA, and for the NBA, Kwame Brown was trash. Whether he was the
Old school.
Here's the thing though,
Old school
Ken.
trash. Yeah.
But that's a good point you
Old
brought
school
up.
trash.
And when we talk about that, right? When we talk about the OAL back then, like we wouldn't look at nobody in the OAL starting and being weak or so, right? But then
That's some
again,
trash motherfuckers.
Nah, I was
No,
some.
it's some
trash,
now
you
you
know,
said
yeah.
no,
There's some
some
trash
Some trash,
people.
you know.
Right, niggas
OEL
was
wasn't
trash
that
out here,
good.
But so if that's the
Niggas
case,
trash out
how
here,
can Aaron, if that's the case, how can Aaron say no one was overrated then?
Because here's the thing
Because-
about Oakland and why I
Okay.
would personally never answer that question. Because you
Ken,
still
you have personally
You
around
gotta
the
see
answered
motherfuckers
Oakland.
again. It's like, bruh, like, why you gas me on
Hold
the
on.
You
podcast?
still
Like,
gotta
yo,
walk around Oakland.
Ken, you have personally answered that question.
Yeah, and I probably won't ever do it again.
But the thing is that you know why, and the reason why I can't answer like that, because like in hindsight, no matter what it is, in Oakland's history, I'm still like who I am. And no matter what it is, I ain't gonna be the one to throw somebody out there and be like, oh, he's trash. It really gonna mean
I didn't say
something, bro.
trash. I didn't say
So
trash.
I mean like
Trash,
overrated.
Like listen, I'll give you a perfect example. Ryan Fernandez was not trash. Ryan Fernandez was a really hyped up, which brings on was Ryan Fernandez overrated. Like we got to think like coaches can hype a kid up to the point to where you see it, you like, bro, I'm not getting this. I'm not seeing what it is, right? And you got to think some people like I give you an example, right? Only person Gino gave props to as a Skyline running back was Terry Johnson. Gino said Terry Johnson wasn't overrated, but he said the rest of the Skyline running backs was overrated, right?
But you know why?
When we look at it, hold on. When we look at it, Ken tried to stop Gino. Like, hey, do you want to specify time frame? Because when names come out, we like, hey, Gino, you tripping.
Oh shit.
Gino,
Yeah.
you tripping, right? But to Gino's standpoint, and someone of Gino caliber, he might look at it like, hey, dude, this dude kind of overhyped. Like he's not as good as they making him out to be, and anybody can run behind that line at that point. Only person he said wasn't was Terry.
But the reason why he's saying Terry is because Terry was like that bruiser. He was like a Gino type of back. See, I grew up at Gino.
I know, but Terry, but they say Terry ran like a 4.4 as well.
That's what I'm trying to say. He was
I
hella
also
big.
think Terry and Gino
pocket.
are really good friends too.
Not that. It's not that. What it is Gino can say what he said because of who he was. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Gino was straight up. Like he was so. Give you my Gino story. It's no lie. I used to work out every day my senior year. I used to run from 90th to 77th. They had these cement log weights, bro. No lie. They was hella just got waterlogged on the weights. Me, Red, we out there every day. Me and Mario together. We doing everything. We on 77, right? So, no, it's not my senior year. It's my junior year. I'm talking hella shit to Gino. Gino, I'm going to knock you. We play y'all next week, bro. I'm telling you, I'm at safety, bro. When you hit the corner, it's on. Gino being a big brother to me, like, man, all right, bro, just hit the weights, bro. We're going to get this. So he had me working out. I was with him all the time working out. So we get to the field. Fremont is dogging us out. Gino running about 700. He just out of pocket, right? So this is our moment. He hits the corner. It's just me and Gino, nobody else. In my mind, you already know, it's on. Man, this is why I say Gino is the most, out of the brothers, when we say smartest athlete I've ever seen and just understands the game, Gino is really that dude, bro. And the reason why I say that is he could have embarrassed me. He could have did that, but he put his leg in the ground and scored. I get up, I'm like, man, you a sucker. He like, bro, the name of the game is scoring. Scoreboard. And it's just like, this is my older brother. We there every day. You know what I mean? This is what you live for in Oakland, to get this shot where you can embarrass him or embarrass him. And Gino was like, dude, it wasn't even about that, bro. I was trying to score. It didn't matter about you. And that humbleness is that's why I said, when it came to my legacy in Oakland, the reason why my name always comes up, because everybody you can talk to, from basketball to the Leon Poles, I didn't have to put my arm around Leon and talk to him, to the Deuces, to the Mondos, to Rats, I got this level of respect because I was around every circle all the names that you can name in the OEL from 97 to 2005-ish, 3.
But hold on. But
you know what I mean?
You go back further than that though. Before we go on to this, like, and this is just my disclaimer, right? Some people will say, "Low, nigga, you was overrated." Like, nigga, when we played you, you had 1 catch for 9 yards, right?
Who said that?
No, listen to me. That's not looking at the stat wide. I play a game, I have 1 catch for 9 yards. I'm gonna be like, this nigga was hyped up. This nigga ain't do shit against us, not knowing I got 1 pass on my way. So,
Wait, time out.
Low cabbage patching him and peas on the cabbage patch going like, come on, bro.
Are you using that as an example or somebody really said
that's an example.
Oh, that's an example.
I'm like,
that's an example. No, that's an example. No.
The reason why I can't say that.
Like, no, as an example, you look at the product you've seen on the field when you played against this, walking into the game as this hype, right? So if we walk into the game and it's a Tech game, I got to stop Mikey, I got to stop Low, right? Mikey rushed for all these yards. Low got 1 catch for 9 yards. You like, damn, I stopped nigga. That nigga overrated. He ain't do shit. But you got to look at it. That motherfucker had 1 pass on his way the whole game too, right? So just saying, like, not saying like when I said it, I said it's not saying Ryan's not good. He fucking went to Stanford and played professional football, right? That's why I'm saying not saying he's not good. But when walking into it on the field, you like, hey man, this dude, this some hyped up shit, right? In that type of story. But no,
that's the part I could never do.
I'm pretty sure someone will say Low was overrated, whatever. I don't. The thing is, here's the thing. I don't care about it.
That's what I mean.
I don't care.
I'm the dude.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't care. But there's some people out there that are, man, look, I was on Facebook all day today. Trust me. There's some people out there that still care about their high school legacy.
I don't give 2 shits about that.
I'm ready for the smoke. That's the thing, Lo.
But hold here, so and here's we go. Now this brings me to my next question as we walk talking to you, Aaron, right? When we talk about great running backs, I'm not about to get into the Ricky Henderson and Mo Coxnam era of great running backs that come to Tech. When we talk about the era, the great running back coming to Tech, is your name, Mike Denard, Marshawn Lynch's name come. You the leading rusher in school history, right? I'm not, I haven't checked stats since you graduated, right? But when you left, you were the leading rusher in school history, right? Why do you feel you get the controversial part of the running back argument between y'all 3?
You know why? Because like it was a situation where you got Mikey before me who goes to Oklahoma State and does all this great stuff, and Mikey's hitting grand slams out the Coliseum. So Mikey's really just saying, like, look, I got it all, right? You got that Mikey Denard in front of me. Then I come, right? And I'm shattering records, but my mom is telling Coach D, hey, at halftime, take him out, bro. So I'm rushing for 350 in the first half, and they like, take him out. He got to go to wide receiver. He got a game tomorrow. So Coach D and them hella mad. They like, dude, Karen, you can't do this. And my mom literally coming down from the stands like, no, take him out. He can't play anymore. So
are y'all winning?
No, we could be. It could be whatever, bro. But that's what I'm trying to say. It could be whatever. It could be like some games, not all, but some games it's like, D, take him out. He got a game on Sunday. So
even in a close game, even
don't
when
matter.
I need to give him the ball.
You must ain't never met Miss Karen.
I have.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Coach D wasn't trying to hear it. Coach D was getting mad. So the reason why it's controversial for me, and I say ask the coaches that day, Lo, is because the coaches, I showed them the structure of why Marshawn became a Marshawn. They would never do a Karen again, meaning not talking about mom, recipe, mom, hey, moms, I ain't saying nothing about you. It's not that. I'm saying they were like, no, from here on, the kids that are doing this, we need to get them in Nike camps. We need to do this. He can't be doing traveling the world. He was doing this. But I was just so good, they couldn't even, it's nothing they could do. So the reason why the controversy comes is because I hold the record. Everybody has nothing but good things to say about me, even Worm. You see, I was like, oh, hey, nasty, it's all good. And the reason why they do that is because I made everybody a part of that, everything. So it has to be a controversy because, like, wait up, he holds the rushing record. I'm the reason why Sean went running back. Marshawn's the quarterback. You know what I mean? I told him let's go to running, but it was like a family. I didn't know he was gonna be Marshawn. He's just my little guy. I'm like, dude, go. You know how y'all did me, Lo. Wrap your arm around me, say, hey, come on. So I took what y'all instilled in me, Lo, and I amplified it 180 million times over. I touch coaches, I touch staff. So when people look at it from that sense, they don't just say my legacy on the field. They're like, he the best running back in history because his team, no, I ain't gonna say that, King. We said that yesterday. His team wasn't the best. He didn't have a lot to work with, but he was still killing. And he could have rushed for 3,000 yards if they didn't take him out. He was just saying, nah, it's all good.
And that was about to get to, right? Because people don't know that in your sophomore year, you shared the backfield with JJ, right?
Yeah.
And Moneybo and Lamont.
And Baptiste.
And Baptiste. So you wasn't like when we played, you know, Mikey got the bulk of the carries. Dame Jones would get some carries, you know, but it was heavily dosed Mikey getting the ball. You had a shared backfield your sophomore year. And this is where my argument come in.
Junior year too.
Yeah. Who was in it with your junior year? Moneybo.
See, that's where you be getting confused, bro. My sophomore year, I didn't even like Raymond Cleveland is like, dude, put him in the backfield. We need him.
Yeah, they was passing.
They was passing. Your junior year is the junior year. The junior year is the shared backfield. Junior year is the shared backfield. So here's my argument with this, right? And so because I voiced my opinion, even when we do a star bench cut with you three, I'm picking Mikey first. I don't give a shit.
I am too.
The reason I said that is because Mikey didn't play varsity his sophomore year. You know what I'm saying? Mikey was on JV, and they had a really good JV team. He should have been the varsity running back his sophomore year. We brought him up in the playoffs. We get blown out by Fremont, but he got 2 fucking touchdowns and 150-yard rushing. Coach D like, hey, I don't know who was my running back y'all thought was. I got my running back for next year. I got my running back for next year, right? So I'll be thinking like if he would have played, we was sorry. I'm sorry. Any of my what's the name now? I told them all the time. We were sorry as shit my sophomore year. We had sorry seniors on our team that didn't have enough leadership to get us together. I'm sorry, right? Now, and we just chipped the wood because we started with all these sophomores, right? So we knew by senior year it'd be a different culture there, right? We fucked it up being ineligible for the most part of our senior year, me and my guys, right? But the culture had changed, right? So when you come in, you got the culture, right? You got what came into fruition,
what y'all built,
what we did, and you walk into this situation. But I'm like, he had a coach that wasn't gonna spread them out and give them the ball. Like they stack in the box against us. That's it. Point blank period. Stack in the box, and this motherfucker still run for 200 yards. It's like, dude, what the fuck? And he didn't do it. It's listening. So when we talk that argument, it's hey, I go with Mikey. And one of the things like, I don't give a shit who the Russian leader is. I know Aaron got the trophies. I just saw the YouTube highlight tape. He's killing this shit. But when you seeing the difference on the field with Mike, it's like, hey, this motherfucker, literally, because we ran the ball so much, it looked like he didn't have no help. You get what I'm saying? It was like he had to do everything because it looked like, or even the big play where it's like, okay, we need a big play, and this motherfucker come up with an interception to the house, and it's like, hey, what this motherfucker just like he just God just blessing him with the ball in his hand, like how he make that play type thing, you know? So
see, that's the part you missed of me, Lo. That part that my junior year is what made people say this dude's good, because it was one of them things where I was sharing the backfield. You had Moneybo, you had this, but
no. But not saying you're not good. Just not saying you're not good.
I'm talking about this is when the shift of the part where you're saying, I give it, so just so we clear, I always give it to Mikey. You know why? Because you can't, like when I was saying about the poll y'all put out, that was too big of a gap. Nobody can attest for it. I don't care what nobody's saying. The OAL between 95 and about 97 was real. People getting knocked out. It was real. KP, shout out my big bro, KP. That was when it was hidden. It was real. Mikey walked into that, right? His senior year. And the poise and I don't care about the rushing record, bro. Mikey could have rushed 1,000. He just chose not to. They was doing some other stuff. Mikey was the most hard-nosed, run you over, give me 85 carries, and I'm with it. That part of it, you can never, and then he wasn't, I'm selfish. Mikey was a team dude. He liked to kick it. And Mikey kind of took me under his wing. Just, every day I'm with Mikey, walking and, I'm in the village and driving school him. So he's instilling in me like, bro, listen, you up next. But what you got to do is you got to keep this culture together. Don't be out here, you know, whoop, he said, and you tied into way more people than I am. You know the West, you know this, you know that. He said, so you already got this school. I had full control of Tech. By the time I got to the 11th grade, I had keys to all the bathrooms there. Like I had Tech in my hand. I could do anything at Tech. So the reason why the controversy comes low, you saw this side, and the reason why I always pick Mikey is not only on the field. Mikey was just a solid dude all the way around. Without Mikey, I don't think I'd have ever been what I was. You know what I mean? So
Mikey, so you got to think. So we go back to high school, and I just talk about my brother. He didn't like the spotlight. That's the fucking thing about it, right? He didn't like the spotlight. So
we can't get him on the show. It's not like we ain't tried.
He don't like the spotlight.
Mikey,
so Ken, here it is. It's 1996. We just 11th graders, right? The people I'm with, we like the spotlight. We gonna wear our fucking jersey. We gonna try to get whatever we can. And if any girl like us because of this sport, we gonna use it to our advantage, right?
Absolutely.
Mike, a totally different person. He like, hey, dude, I don't even want to be a part of this homecoming shit. I don't want nobody clapping for me, bro. Like, Mike, dude, you getting called right after me, bro. Be ready. He didn't like attention, right? He never liked that attention, which is why Aaron can say, dude, the humbleness in him made it be like, hey, man, this ain't just about me. It's about everybody, you know. So that's why he come off as he do. Like we'll never get him on his show because he don't even like the spotlight. It's not his thing. It never was his thing. Even though we try to bait him in, I tell him I'm gonna pull up and just put a camera in his face and record and start talking. But Mike is just one of them type of guys, right? So then we go to the U and the Marshawn, right? Marshawn, that his Silver Bowl game is like legendary, right? At the Coliseum, them touchdown runs is like super legendary. And like that's why I said you're in the middle of both, right? You're there when he's there, you're there when while he's there, right? And at the end of the day, in this argument, depending on your offense that you're running, you can't go wrong with anybody. You know, if I'm running a smash mouth offense, I won't Mikey. If I'm running a speedy, quick jet sweep offense, I want Aaron. If I'm running I need both, even someone that's gonna swing and catch this shit out the backfield, I want Marshawn, right? Just naturally like that, right? So you can't go wrong with any other argument. So it's never a personal argument attack, right? But I know that the controversy you get behind it, and it may be because it's our love for what we saw. And me, I'm gonna be biased away because I was on the field. I was on the field in the war. I'm gonna be biased the whole time. I don't give a fuck. Somebody can come rush for 27 million yards next year. I wasn't on the field with you when you did it, right? It's a difference, right? But let us know, man, how did you end up choosing, leaving Tech, rushing record, all of this stuff? How did you end up choosing to go play baseball where you played it at? And what was the recruiting like for football?
So what ended up happening is that just like you got your favorite to finish it off, you got your favorite. If you talk to Sean, he's going to say, I'm his favorite. It was like that at Tech. And what it is that it's all love. Like I could say Mikey was the best and Sean can say, oh, Aaron was better than me. And then somebody else say Sean was better than him because that's what we built, Lo. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't even care about that. I don't be caring. I just tap in and have fun. I be laughing. But what made me choose, literally Pete Carroll said in my living room, and shout out to John Beam. John Beam, what people don't know is behind the scenes. Before I skip that, Coach D and them, I built the structure of why people start going to scholarships and getting all this stuff out of Tech. Because I had the grades. So look, out of all of these people, right? Sean had grades, Mikey had grades too. But I had the grades, I had the personality, I could interview, I was traveling the world of baseball, so I knew how to talk to the column writers and I do this. So I had the most professional package to show Coach D and them like, oh, this is what we need to be doing. So what Coach D and them saw is, oh, he's going to Nike camps, he's traveling the world for baseball, and he's getting all this recognition. He's number one in the nation, he's this. And they like, wow, we need to get this football. So I showed Coach D and them the blueprint of how to get kids out of Oakland and get scholarships and all that. Beam had already had the blueprint. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to John Beam and Coach D because they worked together. Coach D said in that little, the gym, Pete Carroll was trying to get me to go to USC to play free safety. He told me, get up to 185. This was the decision, Lo. I'm not going to get up to 185. I can't play baseball like that. So I ended up saying, you know what? I'm going to go to Grambling, and they're going to let me play both. I played under Doug Williams and Coach Roach in Grambling. So they were trying to let me play both, right? And the decision wasn't made in high school. I'm like, nah, I'm going to college, I'm going to play both. So I went to Grambling. We had this dude named Chris Davis, one of the number one, Randy Himes, quarterback for the Jaguars. So these are the people that come around. Bruce Eugene was there. Big
I remember Bruce Eugene.
Feel me? So everybody remember Bruce now. Randy Himes was the best dude I've seen. And there's a dude named Levi Washington was one of the best wide receivers I've ever seen in my life. Fastest dude, catching bombs, all everything. So I come into this, and they used to say West Coast people couldn't play football, right? But this is my football. This is what made me decide, Lo. So we are in double days, and I'm doing a lot of good things. Like I done ran some kickoffs back in the Bayou Classic. I done did a lot of stuff, my freshman year. So I'm coming back in double down my sophomore year, right? Coach Doug he's like, dude, you hella small, gotta get you bigger. I'm like, nah, I gotta stay this size for baseball. So they started making me work out with the lineman and the running back and eat on the schedule. So now at this point, I'm 185. So now I'm starting to see the works for baseball too. So now I'm excited, and Coach Doug's getting me lean. He got me working with yoga instructors, but this was the deciding factor. We had this dude named Bam Morris, grown-ass man. He's a middle linebacker. We ran a cover 2 at Grambling. So you already know the angle route where you're going. You feel me? Me and Bruce been arguing all day because now Randy's gone. It's my second year. I'm like, Bruce, you fucking suck. You sorry, I don't care. You fat, you can't move. Oh, well, and it's the West Coast versus, Louisiana. Y'all don't play football, that type of deal, right? So he leads me into Bam, like this across the middle. Man, when I say he hit me so hard, bro, I got up in the middle of practice, no lie. Doug's on the thing, the little elevator thing. He's on the scaffold looking. I take my helmet off, my pads, I say, I'm out. This shit is over for me. Niggas ain't hit me like that no more. I'm done. Fuck that. I'm about to go over here and play baseball. But Bam was so that was a knockout blow. But what I'm saying is the play before that, they throw me a swing. In college, Low, you see dude over there. I'm thinking, oh, he's hella big, kind of. So when I catch it, I was fast. But when I turn up, it seemed like he did a morphosis and was in my he was over there and then he was like, I caught it. I'm like, oh, I'm up the sideline. Bam, he was right there. I'm like, damn, this is faster, angles is better. And the shit was just like, bro, why take this abuse when I'm just gonna play baseball? But what happened is Grambling was like, if you ain't taking our football scholarship or you're gonna step our football program, you can't play baseball. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm out. I'm gonna go back to Contra Costa under Willie McGee and Coach Marvin Webb. That's where I seen Corey Dunlap hit 500. I batted Corey Dunlap batted third. I batted fourth. I batted like 480 something. I batted like 480 something ish. Corey Dunlap, I seen him with my own eyes hit 500. Do you know what that means? That means
every other time.
Yeah, every other time, my man's he's going crazy. I seen Corey Dunlap hit 500. So that was a deciding factor, Lo. It was just like, why take the punishment and do this when I'm already good at this sport? And it's just like, that was cool and all the glitz and glamour of football and all that. But at that point, I was so good at baseball. I was like, dude, it's no point. I don't need to get hit and go. I had nothing else to prove. That's it. I got to a point where it was like in football, it was only really, remember starting out when I said it was only keeping shape for baseball. I had nothing else to prove. And I went to college to try it, and it was like, nah, fuck this. Like, they wilding out here. You got niggas foaming out the mouth. Hey, dudes looking at me like a snack. It was bad.
But coming from the baseball background you had and doing the travel ball, playing with Coach Silver, all of these teams traveling, was there only strictly baseball offers for you coming out of high school? Or did you get drafted in the year coming out of high school? Like, what was it like your senior year with baseball and that type of recruiting?
Oh, so in the senior year, somebody keep calling home, but anyway, in the senior year, what happens is that that's where I feel like I messed up. Not messed up, but for all the kids, whoever's watching this, when you get to that year of for a fact you got that sport, like you're saying, Lo, you see it clear as day. Why are you just gonna go with the baseball? I got all these recruiters. I'm playing with the Colorado Rocky scout, Tom Willard. They're ready to give me, they're trying to draft me. They're doing this. It was talks, but now I'm so blinded by all the college. My mom to this day has a bin full of letters that she just don't want to get rid of, whatever, but of college recruits. The letters are coming by the tons. So now as opposed to me looking at the baseball and getting drafted and doing that, the same way Mikey, I feel like Mikey should have played baseball. I seen Mikey hit it to the second deck in the Coliseum, bro, Grand Slam world. Like, come on, bro. Anyway, it started getting blinded because now you're getting the hype of the football. You're going to go visit campuses and shit, and you doing this, and it's like, oh shit, I'm seeing how they reacting to football players.
It's different than baseball.
It's a different recruiting visit.
You never saw a He Got Game or the program for baseball.
Exactly.
It's different
like recruiting visit.
I went to Oaks. Not Consumers, damn, bro. Clemson, and it was another one down in LA. What's that orange and blue team? It was Raw too at that time.
Pepperdine.
Not Pepperdine. That was Raw. They was
Rivers. Oh, Fullerton.
Cal State Fullerton.
They was the baseball heavy. They was baseball.
I went down there. They had me down there. I was down there. They had me work out. They did the whole thing. They stayed on campus. But dude, I went to USC and they had me stay on campus for football. So I went to baseball recruit Fullerton, and I'm like telling Pete Carroll I'll be down there and go to USC or whatever. And Fullerton was like, it was all good. We ate this fucking, noodles with the, whatever. And it was like, it's cool. Football, we got steak, cheerleaders, you feel me? It's going down. They got the dorm rooms open. They're like, oh, let's go do this. So you look in and you like, damn, it's real. So 2 more of those visits. I went to one to University of Nevada and somewhere else with baseball. And I was like, nah. Let me
go where I can.
I can do both. I need to be able to do both to see what it is. But
Grambling was cracking back then.
Grambling was lit. It was definitely the latest school I ever been to. But I minored in party and majored in the outside life. It was bad. It was got crazy in Grambling. So it made it easier, to make the decision, because when you throw in the glitz and glamour, and a lot of kids from Oakland, they don't understand about the clearinghouse and the this and the that. So they already a step behind. So they looking for anything. I had my mom, luckily the parents, shout out to my mom and Mo, because I was already, Ken, no, man. Like Ken, believe it or not, that's what I'm saying, even me and Ken grew up like brothers. I knew Ken forever. You know what I mean? And knew the whole thing. I knew his dad, he knew my dad, knew his mom. So it was like a thing where Ken know the structure at my house. That's why he said, yeah, my mom wasn't playing with Coach D. Put him in if you want to. I'll snatch him off the field type of deal. So it was like one of them things where I had no choice. I could not fail. I'll tell you the crazy story about Mo. I walked in the living room as 14 years old. I'm like, man, I'm done with this baseball shit. Whatever. Threw my equipment at the on the ground. He said, all right, I'll see you at practice tomorrow. That was it. It wasn't none of this back and forth like parents go. So what I mean is it was a lot of misguidance at that point, but they had started kind of, like I said, backing off. And it was like, oh, let's see what you're going to do. We'll see what happens, and we'll let you make the decision. And, Lo, I ain't going to lie, bro. You know how it was at Tech. Like, you talked about the atmosphere. I haven't even gotten to the basketball, bro, because all them dudes, Lo, we'll get over there too, but that atmosphere at Tech was something, just imagine, Lo. The atmosphere you're talking about when Deuce talking about he was looking out the door, looking at the cheerleader with the mask on, like, just imagine, bro. I am who I am. This is my school. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Like, I'm that guy. Like, it's nothing. My high school year, bro, by the time I got to the 11th grade, bro, Tech was mine. It was nothing nobody can say. Like, it was really mine. You come in, I had to address you. How did you guys determine that? So me and Ken talk all the time, and we talk about who actually school is it? Is it the football team or is it the basketball team, right? So while you're used to, I'm just talking about your class alone, your junior year. Like, would DeMarche put up an argument on this school was mine? Y'all the same year. Marche and actually, see, this is the thing. The thing is that when I say it's mine, I'm not saying like, oh, I was this. No, it's just, I get what you get what I'm saying. Everybody had to, if you were stamped, I stamped you. Like, put it like this. I'm the only one that didn't play hoop. Ask Deuce and Marsha and everybody. When you played at 6th gym and you got picked, it was like the Rucker up in there. The boys gym, nigga, Marsha, Mondo, I seen some crazy. You off right here. I don't want to hear nothing else about no damn boys gym 6th period hoop. Ken, we hooping in the gym 6th period. This nigga Aaron fouls me. I still got the mark on my body. This motherfucker scratched me. I got the tip of my nose is dented in because he scratched me on the top of my nose, right? Blood leaking. And I look around, Ken, listen, get fouled and mad, Oh, man, who the fuck fouled me? And it's Aaron. I can't do nothing to him. That's my little bro. He just fouled me, took half a piece of my nose off, though, bro. Like, this shit's still right there. To this day, it's still there, right? And that's what, like, it was my little...
That's what Aaron's saying. He could do shit like that
Yeah, can nobody else do that?
And you just look at him
nobody
like,
else do that. Like, come on, bro. Like
bud.
anybody. I'm really looking like anybody but you could have did that.
That's what.
And this motherfucking Gio about to get turned up.
But see, I think that's the difference between like Aaron's a cool cat. You know what I'm saying? Like right now I can imagine Aaron back then with the heel figure and the Nautica jacket. You know what I'm saying? DeMarche, he cool. Like that's my partner. He out here in Vegas with me. That's my dude. But he ain't got that swag. Like Aaron, a cool ass motherfucker. Man. That could just own Tech.
Listen to me.
Aaron, let me tell you why I say on Tech, Lo. My bad, not to cut you off. Let me tell you why I say on Tech. So my senior year, mind you, Mom's and Mo don't trip. I'm putting this out. It don't matter. My senior year, we didn't have that much money. We just bought a house. You know, my mom taking lunch to work, whatever. So we had to pick. Mo like, we'll give you $300. It's either clothes or shoes. So I'm like, well, shit. Let me get the clothes. You feel me? So I used to go. I went to thrift stores, get blazers, and take them to the cleaners and woo woo. I didn't really have a lot of clothes. I didn't have a lot of stuff. Everybody had the Jordans and shit, right? I didn't have that. I stepped on a school. Ask DeMarche. I stepped on school my senior year with some Pro Wings on, right? This is the crazy part. People was like, hey, what's them? I'm like, oh, these Pro Wings. But they thought I was doing it to create a style. Right. So people start trying to get the best Pro Wings. Oh, nigga, look at my Pro Wings. And it became that because, and they didn't even know, nigga, I was just broke. I'm wearing blazers because I got to go to the thrift store and get my shit. This is my senior year. You feel me? So just imagine me changing the culture where niggas wearing blazers now. Niggas, so if you go look at those things where they had like the switch days and all that, I created that environment. I made it cool. Like, oh, let's dress as girl. They do this. And we created an environment where people kind of follow me. You know, I'm the dude sitting on the stairs, Fab, talking to and rapping to.
Sound like? Rest in peace, Ronnie Kidd.
Right. KID.
Oakland.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Ron Kidd used to do shit like that. Fur coats.
And that little,
he wears
what's
mama
that little
clothes.
Talk he said? That talk he used to do. I mean, yeah, I knew Ron Kidd too. You feel me?
Coolest cat in America.
It was the culture starter. What I mean is, Lo, when I say it was my school.
Hey, but were you like broke or like just broke? Because
I think he was
the nigga's sister always came to school with her hair done, dressed fresh to death. Like Kim.
Now we know broke. But we know. No. He just said my parents just bought a house.
We had a decision to make. I even bought shoes.
So they put all the money into. He wasn't broke.
So what did Kim pick? The hairstyles? Kim always had her hair done. Kim always dressed up.
This is why Mo is a solid dude. She was a girl. So he said, as long as you do what you do, I'll take care of you. You want Jordans, we'll get it. You want this, we'll get it. Me, I was a boy. It was like, hey, bro, here go your money for school, figure that shit out. They bought me a car. I had a car in the 12th grade. So I'm driving to school. You feel me? Q lives up the hill. I'm taking Q to school. You feel me? Q come down to the house, take Q and my sister to school. So I chose to get clothes and spend more money on outfits than I did shoes and this and that. So I was picking gas money and this or this. So he's taking care of me a different way. He's like, hey, here go gas, here go this. And I'm like,
so hold on, I get it. You were broke. Kim was good.
I'm broke, yeah. I'm broke.
Kim was
Babe, you know what I mean?
Kim was good.
Was broke. Yeah, Kim was doing all that because she didn't have the car, but she, you know, she had to take care of stuff. So my mom and them really made us like, I have to be responsible. Like, you feel me? It's like, hey, look, you got this much gas money in, and you know you got to get to this baseball game and do this and this, and you got to get groceries, and you got to take Kim. So look, let me tell you something. Don't show up with one of those, and it's gonna be a problem. Okay, like that's the level of responsibility.
Let me ask you this before we get out of here. Let's take all the pros out. Take Leon Poe out. Take Marshawn out. Other than Mikey, because I know that's what you're gonna say. Other than Mikey, best athlete at Tech while you was there.
Best athlete at Tech while I was there.
Hold on, you said we taking the pros out?
Take Leon out. Take Marshawn out.
The
and then take Mikey out because that's big bro. And I know that's what you was gonna say.
Yeah.
So outside
take all the classic answers out. I'm gonna tell you, right? And I can't go with Lo because Lo my bigger brother. I'm biased.
But I was about to say though, hold on. If we take them out, I might. I'm in the
open the door for you.
I'm in the running for becoming American next top, man. You take them out.
But see, Lo had a different effect on me. And before we go and all that, Ken. So Lo, I was telling Lo, I met Lo on 35th. He found out who I was. Lo used to be with the bad kids, bro. I couldn't even hang with Lo. KP like, bro, it's cool, but don't hang with him like that, bro. Lo and them wild. So I go to 35th and ask Low, could I wear number 4? Because they gave it to somebody else. I'm like, bro, let me get number 4. He's like, nah, bro. Nah, man. Who close do you give it to? Whatever. So the next week, Low and them, they end the game like, Low, dude, could I get number 4? He like, nah, man, I'm taking this jersey. I didn't even know I was going to get number 4. And somehow it wasn't Low. You didn't even give it to me that day. You came back up there a whole nother day, school by stuff. I'm like, damn, I ain't gonna have number 4. Before you left, he gave me number 4. That's how I ended up wearing number 4. I want that number so bad. So that was that.
Here go the story, right? So I watched Coach Fell. When we finally got new uniforms my sophomore year, Coach Fell took number 24 out and said, ain't nobody wearing this. Like, they didn't retire Fell jersey, Coach number. Yeah. He took it out of it, and then he's been in the program for the last 25 years. Him and then his son, nobody never wore it again, right? So after my last game, I'm like, hey, you know what? This 4 coming with me. I'm taking this shit. I don't want nobody else to wear it. This Tech ain't buying no new jerseys. No, anybody go have it to the new uniforms come.
It's over, yeah.
Taking it, right? And when I was ineligible, they had a kid named Marquise wear my jersey, right? Marquise played wide receiver, same shit, Ken played corner, whatever. Marquise never got in the game. He just needed a jersey to wear, right? So unlike if the number 4 was on the field, right? The day I come back from being ineligible, I get number 4. Marquise gets sitting down to JV. He gets sent down to JV during that season. Now I'm like, I'm taking the number 4. And then it goes back to the story. Like I said, Aaron cut my nose up, and I'm like, man, why it had to be you that did that, right? Aaron asked, can he rock number 4? And it's one of those, bro, why it got to be you that asked? Why it couldn't be anybody else that asked, bro? And it's like, you know what? Hey, bro, you can take this number 4, bro. You can rock the number 4, D.
He rocked it.
Hey, D, don't let nobody rock that 4 but Aaron.
Exactly.
Right? And you rocked it better than I ever rocked it, right? I need to be a running back to rock number 4 than Aaron, right? And you rocked it, man. It's one of them things. That's how things come full circle because, kid, when my son started playing baseball, who I bring him to as their coach, hey, Aaron and Scott. I know y'all.
I remember that.
Scott, I know y'all.
Scorpions or what y'all was?
Monarchs.
Monarchs.
I know y'all. Aaron and Scott. I know y'all. I don't trust too many people coaching my son. Here, bro. Y'all coach him.
I remember
y'all can be as hard as on him as y'all want because I know it's coming from a genuine place. Right? Because I know y'all, right? So here it go from me giving my little brother my jersey to wear and him start his football career off because he said he was number 2 at first, right?
I'm number 2,
Now I'm giving you my son to start his journey off with y'all, man. And that's what I tell him all the time, man. These coaching things and these relationships matter, right? Because I'm one of them dads, dude. I don't let anybody around my son.
Exactly.
That's me. I'm that dad, right? Like if you stay low, I'm picking your son up from school and I'm gonna take him to practice with me. I'm like, depending on who you is.
I'm cool.
You be smoking in the car with your own kid. You know I let you smoke in the car with my kid? No, I don't even smoke, right? So that's how things come full circle, bro. And just the relationships, KP being my big homie from the 20s from when I was a kid, you know, then seeing who your brother was, right? He go to kicker, then find out you and Angel got some relationships to his mama and some cousins things, right? So everything come around full circle, bro.
Did you just butter your way up into being the best athlete?
No, what it is that?
Oh, time out.
Was that your sales pitch?
No, I gotta pull in the line. Hey, shout out to Coach Orlando Gray, because I got this from Orlando Gray. Now we go talk about whether they ain't go to the league, right? We gotta talk about best athletes, right? Hey, nobody. The best athlete that didn't go to the lead award got to have the name of that trophy should be Lorenzo Parham, right? Go to the lead award.
But
I'm just joking, man.
But the reason,
but I do want to, because when we talk about that, and I could give a list of these people, best athlete that didn't go to the league, Keith Wheelwright, number 1, out of Oakland Tech.
I'm going Keith Wheelwright.
I still got Armando Surratt. I have myself. We had a kid named Ken. You got to see this kid play. He just played behind Mikey, and it was Damian Jones.
Damian Jones was hard.
He was one of the running backs. Like he was the first one that was doing the Reggie Bitch flip over people into the end zone.
Like real life flip though, for real. Like no playing like over the top flip
over, like hitting the real front flip over people into the end zone.
And he was hella short.
People that when we talk about Tech, they be like, bro, who was number 9? I'd be like, bro, that was Dame. He just was interesting. He just was ineligible. And or he would just have some shit going on.
He was really
played behind Mikey. So Dame was the running back that was small. He didn't get as many carries as Mikey, and he wasn't fast as Pizzo. So, but he was in the middle. So when he got his shot, he'd do something great, but then he'd get injured, right? So Dame was one of the ones you'd be like, damn, what would have happened if he could have just got a whole bunch of carries? He was you, Aaron.
He was me, yeah.
And
this is so crazy. Now watch how it all tie in. Miss Jones is Dame's mom, and Dame is from 9-0, but down by Bancroft by Booker. I grew up on 9-0. So I knew Dame before I got to. You feel what I'm saying? Like when I say all these athletes y'all bring up and tie in, we haven't even got, even though I know we about to go, it got to be dinner in part 2, because I haven't even talked about the Tech hoop team and how I really not put the group together, but like really, these are my guys. Like I'm telling these dudes, like, come on, like, what are y'all doing? Like I'm at the practice where Coach Sherman made me wrestle. I had to wrestle one year because niggas running 100 laps or whatever. But to get to that note, the athlete that didn't make it, at the best athlete I didn't see that made it at Tech, to be honest, bro, and I don't know if Lo gonna jack this, but I can't put Lo in it. I can't put Pizzo in it. I can't put nobody that was like big brother. Lo and Pizzo and it was like big brother. I can't put nobody. But it was a dude named Jesse. Man,
White boy Jesse?
Man, that dude, bro. To me,
white boy Jesse couldn't even make the AAU team.
Listen what I'm saying. When I say athletic wise, what I mean is Jesse, bro, he used to do this routine on the track, bro. He used to go, he used to run, and then he'll backpedal. He'll run, backpedal. So what I'm saying is that when we talking about athletic, I ain't just talking about his hoop. Are we talking about like a specific sport? Because I'm talking about, I seen him do some stuff on the track that I was like, this.
Yeah, but then again,
we got Q.
We got Q.
We got Adrian Cooper.
Yeah, listen.
Adrian Cooper.
We going specific. I thought we were just talking about somebody that did something. You was like,
I mean, your answer is your answer.
I mean,
it's not. So then my answer, not my answer.
The show is just to, you know.
Yeah, that wasn't the answer then. I thought we were talking about somebody athletic.
But shout out to White Boy Jesse though, because that was my partner.
My guy.
That was my boy Tay Campbell partner. So that's how he would always be with Tay Campbell.
Give me the parameter of what we talking about.
Bro, your answer is your answer.
Don't understand it, right? So when we bring up any names that we make it any list that you're the best on, that is literally me and Ken giving y'all flowers, right? Because we want to give y'all flowers. So when I say you say Jesse, I'm saying Coop. You know, Coop deserves his flowers, right?
Coop, my guy.
Coop deserves his flowers. Keith, we always say Keith, man. So shout out to Keith. All of them
Keith,
dudes,
my guy.
Any dude we had on the show, we giving you your flowers. This is our version of your flowers, right? I could give you a bouquet like this in my background. No, I'd rather give you these flowers right here at the platform. But any of them dudes you ever name, like I still say, you got Jason,
Michael Laster, Big Mike, Little Mike, Laster. I like Mike. So I'm gonna tell you some.
It's a host of them dudes like
Raymond Cleveland.
But here go the kicker to this, though. Here go the kicker to this, and it's the sad thing. we weren't getting to the league because anybody we're naming that's on that athletic spectrum has some potential somehow, right? And then we even talking about not even getting into college, right? So like even Pizzo was like one of my. We made each other better in practice, right? Because he was a damn good corner, and he was actually faster than me, right?
He was hella fast.
He was faster than me, but I just knew how to work him in other ways. I could get in his head and talk hella shit, and then next thing you know, I'm beating him one-on-ones 7 times in a row, right? But athletic-wise, like this dude was taking kickback to the house first game of the season on varsity ever, and he never played JV. He literally went from youth football to varsity. Our very first game, he get a punt kickoff and go to the house, right? His thing is shout out to him. He didn't like contact really, right? So this how the legend of Low began, right? My sophomore year, they tried to put me on JV, right? And I'm like, hey, bro, I'll go put me on JV. I'm going back to Fremont. Fuck that. I'm not doing another JV. It's the worst thing in the world to me, right? Shout out to them, right? He like, bro, he get mad at Coach D.
Low be scandalous.
Low
be scandalous.
JV is the worst in the world. JV football is the worst shit ever, right? That just me. I'm like literally for real. Like you're a stepson. You're a stepson when you play JV football, right? But Coach,
shout out to him.
Pizzo gets mad that they putting me on JV. And he like, why the fuck y'all putting him on JV? He the best kind of receiver, right? So then I'm on varsity. I'm actually starting receiver, but Coach Edwards did this thing where these dude, Pizzo and a dude named Johnny Smith, they ran track. And they automatically get thrown to kickoff, returning the back. No skill into this. They just run track. They said they ran these spectacular ass times, right? One day we in practice, and the way coach used to do the practice is you had to race somebody in a 40 in order to finish those sprints. You had to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
I raced somebody a Yams. I raced a Yam saying, I don't even know who it is. I'm calling him a Yam saying. Remember I told you that senior class was weak, so I kind of out there Yam saying, right? I raced one of them and beat him. Pizzo raced somebody after that and beat him. Coach Dame, like, damn, Parham looked faster than Pizzo, right? Parham looked faster than Parks. He called me out. Man, no, he ain't. Let's race. I leave him. Pew, right? That track shit don't mean. This is why I say that track shit didn't mean nothing. I leave him, right? He want to race again. I'm on him. I leave him again. Johnny jump in this race. Johnny get dusted coming last. That next game, coach put me back on kickoff. Kid you not, put me back on kickoff. I'm juiced the whole week. When we leave tech practice, we come across, I'm in East Oakland, Oakland High. Oakland High gets on the bus leaving their practice every day that whole week we leaving practice.
57 rides.
Talking shit on the 57, right? And talking shit. Me and Pizzo was sophomores. I'm talking shit back. I'm known for talking. That's what I do best. I'm known for that, right? The kickoff when we played Oakland High, my first game on varsity, Pizzo like, bro, them niggas ain't blocking, bro. You could catch all the kickoffs. Man, you ain't got to tell me. I ain't getting no pass. You ain't got to say that to me again. First kickoff I take is to the house. I get the first kickoff to the house. I'm high stepping on Sports Focus while throwing up the 20s in the end zone. You got to think, I'm from the 20s. Everybody from the 20s go to Oakland High.
Yep.
So as I'm coming into the end zone, you know where the stairs at by the weight room to O-High?
Yeah.
My dudes ain't paying to get in the game. So they all watching from them stairs right there as I run into the end zone, throwing up the 20s. Ever since then, I'm on varsity, the kickoff returner. That's how that shit all started, right? Pizzo put me on to that because he like, bro, I don't want to catch. The punt with the kickoff was to him. He went to go block, and I got the ball.
This the legacy of Lowe. See, look, that game you're talking about, me, Kev, Keith, Ballhead, everybody, we are at the Ohio game because Kev, he like, look, this is the little dude Lowe. I'm like, okay, like we sitting there, and I used to be with Kev and Keith all the time. So that's the legacy of Lowe, but this is what I'm saying. So I see that, Kim. Then I get a chance to be at Tech with Lowe, right? So now, him and Pizzo, these motherfuckers I think I was JV. We played Castlemine. I'll never forget this, bro. Dead ass. True story. Yeah. Lowe and Pizzo, this is dead ass, bro. First off, Pizzo picked one or something. He go down the right side, him and Lowe, they had some little special dance they put together. That was cool. They did a little cat whatever. But this one right here, I don't know if it was you or Pizzo, Lowe. Y'all caught it and y'all running the kickoff back and they running side by side, looking at each other about 50 yards, bro, it seemed like. But it's the hell alone, they just looking at each other.
Hey, it was a punt. It was a punt.
They started, I can honestly say, in wherever, bro, I didn't ever see this happening, nowhere in college. No. Pizzo and Lowe started to stunting on the field, on everything. I want to look sharp because Lowe looked sharp. I want nigga Lowe and them had they shit. It was just different, bro. Them niggas was like
we changed the helmets, the face mask. Everybody had yellow face masks. We went and got purple Dickersons and like,
bro, right? They was different, Ken. I'm talking about the swag was different. Nigga, towel was just right. Tail flap right. Like it was Lowe and Pizzo made it to be like
on kickoff, Coach Dame about to be Coach Dame to be like, man, what y'all gonna do? And we'll sit back and point. We'll point before the kickoff was like, nigga, I'm to the house. I'm to the house, right? I just hate I ain't never do that shit against Skyline.
But that was the thing. So this is why, as low, not to even go back, but this is why the legacy is that. Because against Skyline, asked Bean. I was the only one. Like before Sean did all that in the Silver Bowl, I rushed for 150 against Bean. Ain't nobody in Tech ever did that. Straight up with just mud bowl, 150, and I was gaining this respect of Bean. Like why can't nobody stop this dude? Like somebody stop him, please. Like and. The thing is that what the Tech legacy that I put together was basically, just think about it, bro. I was a mixture of you, Mikey, Twin, Dion, Whoop. So if we're going to say the athlete that should have went, Dion was the best athlete. I've seen Dion. The game he threw in Trans-Bay, my nigga threw a one-hitter against like a team that was really good. The Washington team was dope. I see my nigga throw a one-hitter, bro. Ice his arm and come back and double down to like a game. Like, so you can throw, I think like a one-hitter, you win half a game or a whole game to a one-hitter. You had to have a certain amount of rest so you can pitch again. Dion doubled down the game after that and threw I think it was almost like a no-hitter or something to win the Trans-Bay. So the reason why it's always controversy around me is because I had the y'all in me. Marshawn didn't get the y'all. They didn't know what it was to be like with Mikey at the schoolhouse and Mikey picking niggas up and everybody scared of Mikey, dropping niggas on their head and shit. Like, it was like, you feel me? Like, what I mean is I was a mixture and I was in the middle.
Hey, so, and you got to add Matt Cobbs to that list too, though. Man, we got to add Matt.
Listen, we got Matt. Listen, dude, my baseball team was this, bro. Now, just go back to Babe Ruth and look these names up. You got Markham and Malcolm. That just right there alone, that's classic. You got Mikey, Dion, Matt. You got Jose, catcher, old school. You got
Will Pickford.
You got you got Marcus. You got what's Marcus' last name? I forgot Marcus' name. Who's our first baseman?
Marcus' last name is Jackson.
Marcus Jackson. You got Ray Cleve. You feel me?
I just want to point out half of them names came up through Spray Mart.
They did. They did.
Cobras.
They did.
Exactly. So what I mean is, just imagine I step on the field with people I watched on it. And you know in Greenman, nigga, when you playing on a 12-year-old field and niggas is watching you, at that age, nigga, it's real. It's real. So I grew up with people and I got to touch the field. Well, like I said, Lo, I saw a moment where I saw a moment with Mikey. I saw a moment with this. And to be on the field with y'all niggas and just for y'all to really be giving me that and like passing me the torch, it was only right that I turned around and passed the torch. But the thing is that I was making it okay to be whoever. I was making it okay for you to be in East Oakland, kicking with the West Oakland dudes. I was promoting that. Like, rest in peace, Dre Foster, but I'll never forget this, man. Bushrod loved me. Rob Ben, rest in peace, Rob Ben, too. Bushrod loved me. I used to always be in Bushrod. And what happened is that I was leaving to go to college. Dre Foster literally handed me some money and said, look, dude, just be successful. Dead ass. That's what type of person I was. There was so many people that helped me go to college, helped me do this, or just looking out.
Before we get out of here, and it might be just on the rumor mill, and we talking about how you did this back in 02, 03 with the Marshawn them class. 20 years later, word around the thing is you coaching at Tech now. Is that a rumor? What's the deal?
So what it is, I went out there and I was hollering at Phil, and Phil needed a lot of help. So little Phil was remember Coach Phil, he couldn't even come to practice. Nigga was like a little kid. He was outside. So when I saw Phil, you know, I went out there, saw a few practices, saw what it is. And Lo, you know, man, I've coached with Lo, and he know I'm dead serious. And I think maybe I was too intense for the level we were playing at.
You were. I thought we was gonna get into a fight with the parents sometimes because you were doing too much. You were.
But the structure of it, like, that's who I was as a teammate. The structure of it is me. I'm serious about discipline and structure. You're gonna play the game, let's play. I don't care if you're 3 or if you're 55. Let's play the game if you're gonna play it. So, and you know me, Lo. So I'd rather we don't play with a ball at all and understand how to listen and do this, because in baseball, you got to learn how to lose. So if you learn how to lose, you learn how to win in baseball, if that makes any sense. Because you get 10 at bats, you know, whatever. So you get 3, you're the greatest player ever. So I was so big on discipline that when I went out there with Phil, he kind of seen the spark back in my eye. He gave me the spark. And that's something I'm really working on doing right now. Like, once I free up time, because now as where I'm at now, and I can't really say who I work for because I can't PR them, but basically being a lead engineer, it's certain things that you don't have time for at the moment. So now that I'm easing into a space where I'm getting different, you know, assistants and putting people in place to be me other places, it's gonna free up a lot of time. And not to mention, I just want to throw this out there. All my kids have an ACE theme. So my last kid name is Asen Cairo Early, who is 1. He's 1, he'll be 2, and you know, Lo, we throwing him in at 3. You know what I mean? So I'll be out starting at Greenman, and that's what's catapulted me into Tech. Because Deuce, believe it or not, I got my son Aaron Deuce, which is named after Kenneth. I named him Deuce because of Kenneth. And we'll get. That's what I mean. I haven't even gotten to the basketball side of the situation.
We're not gonna
get.
We got part 2.
We got to come. I
part
know.
2. Shout out to Deuce. So, you have to do. But he's going to Tech.
It. He's going to Tech. He got in first. But that's what I'm saying. When his daddy Aaron early, what the fuck you mean? Like, you better get in the Tech. What you talking about? You know what I mean? What you talking about? Like, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to do nothing. And what's so crazy? Mr. Price is my principal. His son's the principal now. He called me. Hey, Aaron, we're gonna get Deuce in. No problem. Bet.
So my nephew will be there with you if you're coaching.
I'm coming.
My nephew Gino is there. He'll be at Tech.
Come on, man. Gino, that's my little cousin. That's what I mean. Tonight, that's literally T and them. That's how we connected with
he's at Tech. He's at Tech.
Gino got there too?
Yeah, he's going.
Oh, you know I had Gino before.
So exactly. So you gotta get him right, man. But before we get out of here, bro, give us some ending parting words before we get up out of here. Hey, this was a great fun interview, man. We might the comment part 2 gonna be in the comments. Part 2 of the comments gonna be part 2. We go comment part 2 in the comments, right? Go ahead, Aaron. Send us out of here.
So to send this out, like I think my message nowadays is Lo saw me at my at my moment of just being so deep into sports and so much of that. I think the message I want to convey is that success is not just with these sports. Yeah, it's great to like me and Ken was talking about, for people to be talking about you 20 years later, whether they're saying you was trash or whether they're saying you was the best or whether they're saying you was this, just to be mentioned at this point is dope to me. I love the conversations. Trust me, everybody, just for, disclaimer, I don't really give a fuck on Facebook, bro. Trust me, we just in there talking shit. Just believe that. And it's never personal, but the parting words for me is just understand success is what you deem it. Meaning, I thought I was going to be this athlete. I thought I was going to be this, thought I was going to be that. I ended up coaching and, did some good things for a lot of kids and built a lot of different programs. But I think what I really want to convey is that to the kids nowadays, you don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be this. Just understand success is what you deem it. And if you choose to take a career path or be an engineer or be a this or that, success is just being able to every day wake up and be okay with how you live in life. And that's just the message I want everybody to know. You know what I mean?
Out to Aaron, man. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, have a good one, bro. Appreciate you.
Have a good one. Man, love y'all, bro. Y'all big brothers to me, man. I appreciate it. This is a good look, bro. I love this stuff, man.
For sure, man.
I have a great one.
All
right. Later.
Hey, Ken, that is hella funny, yo, because literally what he's saying is what probably everybody else wants to say. Just not saying it to us that we started shit. Because like you said, and like he said, some people literally love to feel that validation of their high school time. Like I said, I don't give a shit about it. We haven't even did a wide receiver list. And if we did, I would possibly leave my name off of it, right?
That just depends.
Why? Because I feel I have a lot more to talk about myself other than what I did in 1996 through 98.
My better years are ahead of me.
And still to come, right? So I don't care about this, but some people really do. And he just got me thinking like, damn, are we offending people by the overrated, underrated? Which is why we started doing the start bench cut, because that have nothing to do. That's saying y'all all good and somebody just can't make the team, right? So
I got kids and I'll be walking around by myself. It was cool, but like I said, I realized some people still hanging on to that.
Yeah, but
I done seen lists. I done seen a quarterback list from the 4 years I was in high school. I ain't even talking about no 10, 15 year period. And I wasn't on it. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, but
it is what it is. If you think I wasn't that good, I wasn't that good. I guess I wasn't that good.
It doesn't matter. Like I said, it's all in the sports world. It's never out of disrespect. It's definitely just my opinion.
Just opinion.
It's just
but
opinion.
I stay away from the overrated thing now.
Okay. So
I used to answer it all the time and give my opinion, but now I'm like, I'm not trying to have nobody's depression on my hands.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but you're like, at least mine be a little like close to being right, Ken. Like you said, Jamal Hill was overrated. Like knowing the fuck he's not. Like you're hella far left field. Like
see, this is okay. I'm gonna go back to your overrated. You not saying Ryan is weak. You just didn't think he was what everybody else said he was. By no means am I saying Jamal Hill wasn't good. I didn't see what everybody else saw.
It's fair. Fair is fair.
That's all. But by no means would I say was trash. He wasn't trash. He was really.
You want to know who? But the thing is, if we were to ask people, and shout out to my guy because he always sent me shit to validate himself in this argument, right? Because he's not going to ever engage in a Facebook argument about his accomplishment. But a lot of people will say, just comments. Brandon Payton overrated. Only reason y'all put him on this list because of this. Only reason y'all put him on this list because of that. Why we don't have this person over BP? And it's like, dude. So BP, shout out to BP, man. That's my brother. He's not going to argue with you. He's not going to say anything. He's just going to sit back and send me the facts, right? He send me the facts and be like,
"How can you be overrated?"
Lo, here, you can post this, Lo, because they don't know. They don't know, Lo. This is what he said. This is how he talk. They don't know, Lo. They don't know. Post this, right? And here it is, right? So.
But this is what I say too, and this is what I told Aaron yesterday during pre-production. It's also the fact that people are still talking about you 20 years later is a compliment, regardless of what context.
What the thought is. What the thought is. Great answer. Great answer. You still being mentioned. Shit. Some people are forgotten.
And look at who they comparing you to, Mikey and Marshawn.
Right. Mikey
to be in that, that's like not equal, but it's like who's better, Kobe, Mike, or LeBron? It's like, bro, it's urban, to be in that argument.
You're in the urban legend category because it's like some people now, if you didn't see it, some shit you wouldn't believe. So for you to be put in that conversation with them, it's like, hey, nigga, I don't give a fuck where you put me at. You mentioned me with them.
Come on, bro. How many running backs have played for Tech since Mikey left and Marshawn left that we don't talk about?
A million, all of them. And like you walking into a school where you're not going to ever live up to the hype of these people. So definitely, man. But shout out to Aaron for that interview.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Rec Center Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at the Rec Center Podcast. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Rec Center. I'm Kenny Edwards for Lorenzo Parham. We out.